As Wizards of the Coast steps into the world of serialized cards, if done correctly, the sky's the limit. Hey everyone, Wizards of the Coast, serialized cards. Not a bad idea. I got nothing against that. I've talked to a few people about it. Now, for those of you who ask me, is it going to replace the reserve list? The answer is no. They are not even the same type of beast. Reserve list cards, or even old Magic cards in general, however you want to categorize them, they're old. 25, 30 years old. Natural attrition rates. Hard to come by. Mint condition. It's a totally different beast. When you look at a serialized card, they are going to be kept near mint. Anyone who opens one, unless they drop it on the ground, it gets crimped somehow, they're going to take care of it. So right away, they're different types of creations. One is a natural organic growth because the cards are old. A serialized card is forced scarcity. They are making it happen. Just like they did in the sports card world to help save it, they are doing the exact same thing for Wizards of the Coast Magic the Gathering cards. It's like making a new reserve list, sort of, depending on how they do it. But the sky is the limit. If they do this well, it could be fantastic for the game. For the players who want to collect the cardboard and have unique images and imagery. To have imagine somebody manages to collect, imagine it's 1 of 10. And they collected all 10. How amazing would that be? How impossible, but how amazing would that be? I can't see people giving up these cards when they get them. So the chances of somebody completing an entire set of 1 of 10 or 1 of 100 is probably next to nil. It's probably almost impossible. But the idea of it is very intriguing. Because there will be people out there who will be searching for these cards and hoping to get 1, 2, or 3. I can just see it happening and it gets my blood flowing. I think it's a cool thing to try to do. It's like players trying to complete a set of the Dark or Antiquities or Arabian Nights. It's amazing. Now, if Wizards does this correctly, hopefully they post it out there letting us know how they're going to do it. Because letting players know ahead of time how things will be distributed with saying, oh, there's going to be 10 common cards of 1 of 1,000 or 1 of 100. Then there'll be 5 rare cards, 5 mythic cards, however they want to do it. So we know the numbers out there. And for which languages it's being done in. They really should be tracking these down for us. They should be letting us know. Because then, unlike the reserve list, we're not sure of the attrition rate. We will know how many are in existence. It'll be great for the secondary boxes market. Like, if I keep a box of something sealed, it could have a serialized card. You'll never know. Unless they're all found, of course. But the idea of that is pretty amazing. Now, Wizards definitely has this habit of overextending themselves, oversaturating the market, and causing a crash. Look what they've done right now with the collector boxes, the full art flash, the fact foils aren't worth anything anymore, not special, because everything's special. They have this habit of doing it. And it just causes a jackhammer to the market, causes things to crash, people get upset, and they don't spend money, because they don't believe in the product. This is a new turn, which Wizards is, they're always slow to do it. But when they do it, at the beginning, they execute it fairly well. They dripped that card out in the Praetor collection. And they sat back to see how the market reacted. I've had a lot of conversation with people. That's why I haven't done a video earlier. I was compiling info, especially on the other markets that have already done it. And you look at that, and you see the reactions of players. It's pretty positive. But those who say this is a replacement to the reserve list, it is and it isn't. It's Wizards' attempt to force some value into their product, but it's not the reserve list. They're not the same topic. There's a natural attrition rate to reserve list cards because it's at the time when people didn't know to keep them in pristine condition. When you look at anything that's going to be serialized and numbered, people are going to keep it in great shape. Even if it's a worthless card that's a common, there will be people who really believe in it and want to grab onto that. And I understand that. I have friends who are already looking forward to it and seeing which sets it drops into and how often. Because that's the other thing. When Wizards oversaturates a market, they start putting out in everything. they've got to keep it special. They have to keep it tight and keep it in a small marketplace to keep that value always churning. So a new player coming in who gets lucky and opens that dream pack goes, wow, this game is just, the value is phenomenal. The growth could be amazing. And that player sticks around a long time. You can see how it could really be beneficial to Wizards if done correctly. And the sky's the limit. Imagine yourself in the Brothers War, 2022. And Wizards says, hey, there's going to be 5 commons, 5 rares, and 5 mythics. 5 of each. Of 1 of 100. But these are old cards from the original Antiquity set with new artwork done by the original artists. So we're going to have Colossus of Sardia. Is now considered like a mythic. But it's a special artwork. And he's not a regular card in the set. He's just a special standalone sketch art. Amazing, right? Ornithopter is brought back. Yosin Soldier. Imagine what they could do to draw in older players who have good nostalgic memories of the set. Because it's like an Antiquities type thing. So they come back, they go, wow, look at how they've done this. It's really amazing. Remember, name, nostalgia, it all goes together when you're thinking of value. But then you've got new players who are buying the product for the first time. They go, wow, look at this cool old card. And then they might go back and look at older cards and get more of an appreciation for Magic the Gathering's history. And they start buying more cards and they start getting more into the game. It could be a great cross-promotional chance for Wizards of the Coast with certain products. Wizards knows that they have an old, loyal base of players. So they drip out bones like Modern Horizons 2, bringing back old cards like Dakon, and they get us really going, okay? But they can do the same now with Brothers War, Dominaria United, depending on how they do it. And over the years, they can go back to Tarkir. They can go back to Ravnica again and again and again to bring us these amazing worlds. But as the player base grows and more nostalgia comes in, Wizards realize that they have to expand this out. And with serialized cards being dedicated to each world in certain types, if they keep it tight and they pay close attention to what they're doing, they could have real success on the primary market when they're selling their products, on the secondary market, which assists their LGSs and other areas that they're into, distributors, whatever you want to look at. I mean, greedy people, no greedy people, investment people who keep the market going, the non-investment people, however you look at it, it can be good for multiple facets of the market of Magic the Gathering. Now, I myself, I wouldn't care too much, but if I got one, yeah, I'd be pretty excited. But I wouldn't go seeking them out myself. But I can see how some people will, and they'll try to collect as many as they can. And that alone could lead to certain players just having such a thrill whenever they get one of the serialized cards. So Wizards, we got to hope they don't oversaturate the market. Hope they pay close attention to how they're going to distribute them and in which languages. And hopefully they make that information known. Because if they do that, it really will build strength in the secondary market. At least it would for me. If I know there's 5 of this, 5 of this, 5 of this, and there's 100 of each copy. Okay, so that's 300 copies in total out of every box for English for this particular set. However they do it. Even 1,000 copies isn't going to bother me as long as we know how many are out there. That could really draw in a player base they maybe didn't tap into very often before, or maybe suck in more cash from players who get really excited and the Timmies who go, yeah, let's go. I can see it happening. So I wonder which avenue you'll take, Wizards of the Coast. Are you going to pay attention to this and see what's going on, or are you going to drag this out, oversaturate the market, kill it, and move on to the next thing? Hockey cards have done this really well now for a number of years. If Wizards is smart, because unlike a hockey card where you just look at the card, we play with the card. We play with the stuff. It doesn't mean the serial cards will be played with, but the serialized cards will still represent cards in the game. And there might be players who actually choose to play with these. I'm really fascinated by this topic, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. Because there's a lot of roads they could take, a lot of paths in the forest that could lead to a lot of things, but they all lead to the mountaintop. And if they do it right, and they do it well, if they execute things correctly and don't rush, this could be a new age for Magic's collectors side. If it keeps the prices lower for the players who want to play the game all the time and don't really care about the secondary card market value, then that's awesome as well. I mean, We have a lot of roads we can take right now, and it's going to be fascinating to see where Wizards takes us. And of course, a big shout out to each and every one of my amazing patrons on the channel. Thank you so much for your continued support each and every month. Patrons make the world go round. I love talking to you guys in the comment section, on the Discord, and of course by email and the Patreon. Guys, rock it out. Have a great day. You know what would be really cool? If Wizards went ahead on the secondary market and they buy 10 candelabras of Thanos, 10 of everything, and they went to a factory and they stamped it into the original card. So they bought them on the secondary market, but stamped them with 1 of 10, 1 of 5, however you want to do it. Force a stamp into the card, and then reinsert them into like Brothers War or something, and ship them out. So there's power cards available again, just like they did with like the original Zendikar, where they put like secret treasures in. Imagine they did that, but stamped the cards with like 1 of 10. That'd be so cool. Your mind gets going, I'm telling you. That'd be a unique thing to see.